Hello, Mr. Fantino. How are you? I'm sorry I missed a couple of days. Well, you see, I realized that Christmas time is always a little rough, and I was not very good at handling pressure of producing every day, so I've decided to follow my own pace. So, anyways, I'm sure that you're not too offended by the ideas of false promises or, things like that. You are kind of used to it. Anyways, those 15 videos, I can take a year, 15 years, or even 50 years in order to produce them. Anyway, you don't care, right? But through this video, and it will be longer and not as funny as usual because I feel like I'm being serious. I owe you an explanation of the reason of what seems to be a terrible anger towards you. First of all, you know what? I'd like to talk about a certain number of facts just regarding 2014, regarding my husband's case. So in 2014, in February, I talked twice to is it a regional manager? Probably someone who received one of your bonus. Twice in February, where she reassured me that my husband's needs would be heard and considered and addressed. On that matter, I'd like to say that information access or access information can prove that my husband, myself, and his specialists for the past 3 years have been asking his case manager to address his tinnitus because specialists recognize that it triggers his PTSD, and I myself did ask and mention there are traces of it. So, mid-May, nothing is done, really. We have a new case manager, of course, but mid-May, nothing is done, and one night, my husband is truly suffering from his tinnitus, and he's crying. So what I've done, and I thanked him, and with his permission, I posted a 39 seconds video on Facebook, and it had the result that I wished. A journalist saw it, and mid-May, my husband went on national television. It took him a lot of courage, let me tell you, and he did a great job explaining what was happening to him, the help that he needed, and the help that he wasn't receiving. End of May, Mr. Fantino. Do you remember? Mr. Fantino, can I talk to you, please? I'm just a vet spouse. Well, I wanted to talk to you. Well, you didn't listen to me. You didn't want to see me. So what I did, in order to try to meet with you, I talked to approximately like 200 persons from everyone who was able to convince you to meet with me because what was happening was a nonsense. For the help that I was receiving and for the help that my husband wasn't receiving as well. End of June, you and I are introduced for the first time by not one of your staff, no, by another veteran. Can you imagine the power that he had? I mean, he introduced me to you after asking for me to say to you that I was sorry about last May's event. Well, of course, I told him no, but when we were introduced, you confirmed me that we would meet, but more than that, you told me that the media attention that I was receiving was kind of, offending you. And my husband personally talked to you and tell you that it wasn't settled again. He didn't have any help for his tinnitus. He told you that he had suicidal thoughts. I mean, do you think he's kidding that he's making a victim out of himself? For Christ's sake, he told the minister. Well, here we go. September, we go in Halifax to meet some people there, and a vet who's suffering from tinnitus lower than my husband, because I will tell you that my husband in 2015 he was tested, and the results are that he suffers from extreme tinnitus, and anybody will tell you that this level of tinnitus right now is enough to drive anybody crazy, okay? So everybody knows that now, it's a fact. Still, this veteran in question in Halifax, for Christ's sake, I'm in Farnham, Quebec here. Well, he was having masking devices, and he gave his to my husband in order to help him a little bit and to see if it would make a difference. And yes, it did make a difference. Anyways, it was no problem for this veteran because all he had to say, well, I don't care, I'll ask for new ones and I'll receive one, as easy as that. Well, you know what? Again, this year, my husband talked to the fourth case manager. And you know what? You and I met, was it in the beginning of October, a week before you handed your answers to the committee recommendations? Do you think that I'm stupid enough not to know that you did this in order to make sure that I wouldn't go in the media? You cornered me by promising things to me, and you put me in a place where I had no choice but not going in the media, and I didn't go. I gave you a chance to prove us, for Christ's sake, that you are a man of a word. Well, you know what? We are in December, and ask my husband if he has anything, any help. The answer is still no. You want to know something funny? This year in 2014, he was denied in appeal for his hearing loss. Well, he spent 3,000 hours in a CC1 Hercules, and he had during his service, 4 or 5 barotraumas to his ears. In fact, the test when his medical relief indicate already a change in his hearing loss. Well, he was denied. You want to laugh a little bit? 5 years ago, Veterans Affairs Canada gave to my husband hearing aids. Still, no case manager can prove it to you because there are no trace or evidence that he did receive those hearing aids while not being pensioned for hearing loss. But he was pensioned for tinnitus for 7 years. We've been asking help for 3 years. And as of today, nothing. So anybody who doesn't understand the fact that maybe in December the vet spouse is throwing a fit because she's premenopausing, well, yes, I am. And you know what? Today I listened to an interview, 2 candidates talking about the veteran situation. One of them was representing the Conservatives and the other a Liberal. I don't want to make this a political video, but my point is, first of all, okay, not even the journalist, nobody mentioned the word family once. Okay, and I understand that the veterans case is concerning the veterans. Of course, it's just that right now it seems to me that I'm not being recognized, considered in any ways. In fact, I feel like the system right now is more willing to help a stranger. Would you like to have a good example of that? Okay, I have a letter from a psychologist that says, because I needed it in order to go in school as long as I could, that confirms that I need to accompany my husband to his session, to his appointments in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, which is located an hour and a half approximately from our place. Okay? His needs is confirmed. Well, and there's a program that will actually give a little bit of money to somebody who would accompany my husband to his appointment. And it can be a family member. As much as I can understand that somebody could tell me, Jenny, times are rough and you are already at home and you are his wife and it is your job to accompany him. I will agree with this, and I agree that this is a debatable idea. And, in fact, you are right. I am his wife. He is my husband. And if my husband needs me, it's me that he needs. It's my place. It's for me to be there with him. But when I was working, if I would be working right now, let's put it this way, and I would have to miss 4 hours of my job. It's crazy that you would pay a stranger, even if it's 30 bucks, okay, be with my husband. But for me, I have no support if I would have to leave my job. So in order for my paycheck not to be cut and impact the family, I would have to work extra hours for one, or I would have to accept the idea that we would have a money loss at some point, and that would be impacting the whole family. And what is even more stupid makes it more stupid is the fact that my husband, you know what, suffers from PTSD. He has a trust issue. Okay, he has a trust issue, a serious one. Do you think that he will accept that a stranger accompanies him? That means that you accept that he becomes Rambo. This is how I call him when he's not him. So you accept the idea that for an hour and a half prior to his appointment, a stranger can be there. He can go to his appointment without, me being there. No support system, expect for him to be back with the same stranger. The stranger is going away, receives money. Me, as his wife, I have to support him and I have to live the impact of this. But no, I am not considered. I'm just a vet spouse. So I won't be mad for a long time at you, Mr. Fantino, because being angry is not good. But I will thank you because those videos are truly helping me vent a little bit directly to you. Because you know what? There's only my husband and I who knows the impact of the fact that you didn't listen to me in the first place. My husband suffers from PTSD and you have no idea. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cry. What it triggered in him. The paranoia, the fact that he was so angry at you. I'm his wife, I'm his. So he was angry. He was an angry vet. And he was impacted. So to anybody who wish me to shut up, well, I'm sorry, but I won't. I won't. Because I love my husband. And until he deserves the respect and dignity your people are telling him that they feel for him, and I see it really in my house, I will consider doing something else. But until at least myself as well, I can be fully educated in order to support them when everybody will finally recognize that I am part of my husband as an ally. That even though we can see a psychologist 1 hour a week, I am there with him 24 hours, and anyone who would not believe that I am not impacted after 13 years, well, I believe you have the proof right now. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So I don't know if I am part of a minority of people who are just plain unlucky, or if I'm part of a majority of people who are truly not receiving help, because right now the candidate from the Conservative was telling us that how everything was almost great. Well, I'm wondering how come nobody can agree on numbers, for Christ's sake. I don't get it, but I believe that this division of political notion and ideas and the division amongst the veterans community as well serve you well. But you know what? I believe in karma, and at one point, Mr. Fantino, truth will prevail. And more people like me will be talking. They already are making a difference. I know that many others are doing things in order to help their husband, but also to raise the awareness. And as for me, 2015 15, I can tell you, will be very busy. So until I talk to you the next video, I'm sorry and thank you for letting me vent. I will put back on my smile. Take a deep breath. I feel better. Now you know why I am angry, but I will take care of my anger because you know what? At the end, what you taught me in 2014 is to transform my anger into determination. So maybe right now the premenopause and the Christmas time is hitting me a little bit, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. But you know what? I made my husband laugh, and that's enough of a paycheck for me. So you take care, Mr. Fantino. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.